Walk around with a sign that reads, "I stole at Pet Mart," and was caught. The store owner promised to drop the theft charges if Smith wore the sign. Wow!
I just kind of made a mistake one day. I didn't have enough money to do something. No excuse, really. I can't blame nobody but myself. I'm here because of myself.
Would you rather do this than go to jail for a week?
Yeah.
The pet store surveillance camera caught Smith stealing the $18 item. It's going to be a long 4 days.
Man, especially when you're dressed like a South Park character.
Kenny!
Yeah, that's exactly right.
36 minutes past the hour. Wintry weather once again, but in some places where they don't expect it.
That's going to be this weekend.
North, too.
Yeah, that's going to be this weekend. And I'm going to follow up with that storm that's been in play. Big G on their chest. Yeah, you know.
All right, a struggling college student has one less thing to worry about. Wait till you hear how an overheard conversation at a cafe helped turn her life around.
Mancini's Nature Valley, Pyramid Peak, Colorado. Where's your Nature Valley? 100% natural, whole grains, delicious.
That's what you want, baby, and I don't want you around. I don't believe it, and not for a minute. You know, they feel around. Make it on the run, baby. That's the way you are, baby.
Closed captioning hours provided by Renewin, the only supplement for joint care and energy.
Introducing Renewin, the only intensive release supplement for joint care and energy. Renewin with glucosamine and chondroitin improves joint comfort, joint mobility, and boosts energy. Renewin in store.
Don't get fed up with all of those reruns just yet. The striking writers are under even more pressure to end their 2-month walkout. That's because Hollywood directors have cut a deal with studios. The new contract will give them payment for internet downloads. Now, that's been one of the big demands by the union writers. A $400 tip has changed the life of a waitress in Missouri who's also a college student. A customer overheard Marlena Hayes telling a coworker how she was struggling to buy her textbooks. Well, a note left behind said, "Good luck with school, $400 for books."
I was going to have to work 7 days a week for the first month or two of my new semester. And thanks to her, I actually get 2 days off a week now where I can be at home studying. Last night was the first night in about 2 months that I've gone to bed not worried about money.
Well, Hayes says that she hopes to see her generous customer again to thank her personally. How can we juice the sagging economy? What about your own personal economy, right? Fed Chief Ben Bernanke has some ideas. Let's talk to Jennifer Westhoven. What does he think about maybe this economic stimulus package?
Hi, thanks, Robin. Well, lawmakers, of course, trying to make a deal, so they were listening very closely to the Fed chief. He offered something to both parties when he spoke. First, he said that the president's 2001 tax cuts did work, so that bolsters the president's plan to make them part of the hallmark of this package. But Bernanke also said that any cuts or tax rebates have to be temporary, so they don't damage the budget long term. And after that, it seems that the president dropped his idea to make his tax cuts permanent. What everyone agrees on, though, is that speed is going to be crucial when it comes to this plan.
To be useful, a fiscal stimulus package should be implemented quickly and structured so that its effects on aggregate spending are felt as much as possible within the next 12 months or so.
And certainly anyone with a 401k hopes so. The Dow
Young Artist Talent Search. Let's find out all that we can about it. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
And by the way, you are a past participant in this search.
Yes, I am.
What was it like?
Oh, gosh. It was one of the best times of my life. You know, when I think about it now and how supportive the people at NJPAC were, phenomenal. I actually won the Star Ledger Scholarship in 2000.
Oh, that's wonderful, Danielle. And your career is just blossoming now, and we wish you the best of luck with it. But you're also using it to give to the current kids of today. What are you doing?
I'm actually a teaching artist. I go to various schools in the tri-state area, and I teach ballroom dance, and I also teach acting.
We're going to see some footage of what it's like to be a participant in this search. And let's make this clear. There's some sense of performance here. but it's fun, isn't it? Nothing to be worried about, is there?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, the NJPAC team is really, really supportive, and it is a lot of fun. Kids get a chance to do what they love: act, dance, sing, everything.
And as you can see with some of these kids, it's 11 to 18 years old, and there is a deadline involved. How does all that work? How do you go about applying for this?
Well, you can go on the website and apply, which is www.njpac.org, and you can get an application there. Our first deadline is January 18, 2008, and our final deadline is actually February 29th, 2008.
Some costs involved, but minimal.
Yes, yes. The first one is a $15 application fee, and the second one is a $20.
But what happens in return? What goes on? What is the end result?
Well, I know the scholarship that I won, I actually won $40,000. There's other programs where you can learn jazz history, which is our Wachovia Jazz for Teens, and we also have Young Artists Institute where you can learn acting, singing, dancing. So we have a lot of programs.
The neat thing about NJPAC is the mission. It is always there. The arts are so social. If we don't have the sense of community involvement with the arts, what do we have? And it's even involved in this audition process, but as you could see, it's a part of your social being, isn't it?
Right.
You have to give back in many ways.
Of course, of course. Newark helped me out a lot. NJPAC helped me out a lot to get me through college. And now I have a job there. So, you know, I am the direct product of this talent search.
What about all the talent out there, Danielle? You see it when you go classroom to classroom, don't you?
Of course. I tell the kids' parents, like, oh my gosh, get her in some classes. She's great. Or he, so, yeah.
You know what? Sometimes it's the toughest thing to realize the talent that someone has right next to you. But it does need to be harnessed and it does need to be guided, doesn't it?
Of course. You know, you need technique. Raw talent needs to be nourished with some technique. So.
All right, NJPAC, where is it? And folks, if they want to participatory in it, the website's right on the screen, but where will they have to go?
They would actually have to go to NJPAC. They have the Lucent Center, which is right behind NJPAC. That's where we hold all our auditions, and our programs are held there also.
And as you could you mentioned the deadlines. Of course, the first deadline may be January 18th, and then there's another deadline in February. The auditions don't happen until the spring, in April.
Right. The first, they're actually April 5th and April 6th, which is a Saturday and a Sunday.
Will you also help folks along with their auditions?
Yes, we actually have a free audition workshop, which is on March 5th and 10th. You know, various artists come in and help the kids with audition techniques, presentations, various elements in auditioning to make that day really, really.
Danielle, great having you with us. Best of luck to you, and of course, best of luck to all you future performers out there. 11 to 18, the NJPAC. I'm Joe Basikia. Thank you for watching.
Do you have beauty, brains, and bravado? Then you could be CTV's first model Latina. Visit Zydio.com/CTV model and upload your audition video today. You could appear in a national reality series on CTV and be featured in Latina magazine. Visit Zydio.com/CTV.
Congress are scrambling to help an economy may have led to the mauling. And he was known as much for being a recluse as he was for his chess playing. A look back at the life of Bobby Fischer. First, to our top story, the president and Congress are scrambling to help an economy that looks, as one Wall Street executive puts it, dreadful. So they're working on some plans for a short-term tax rebate for you to jumpstart the economy. Here's the deal. A White House advisor says that economic trouble started with the problems in the housing market.
We want to make sure that while that adjustment is going on, the rest of the economy remains sound. And so to allow for consumers, taxpayers to have more money to spend in the market, to allow for businesses and small businesses to have more money to invest, to create jobs, we think is important right now and timely.
Well, some White House aides say that the president wants to give an advance on next year's refund. So in other words, it could be up to $800 for you. That's per person. But there is a catch. Isn't there always when it comes to your taxes and a rebate? Jennifer Westhoven is going to fill you in on what that catch is coming up. New this morning, one of the 3 victims of a San Francisco tiger attack was intoxicated and admits to taunting the animal. Now, that's from court documents given to the San Francisco Chronicle. He told the father of the teen that died that all 3 waved and yelled at the tiger, but he says they never threw anything into the pen. But zoo officials say that police took a bloody sign and post from the tiger exhibit as potential evidence the day after the attack. A zoo spokesperson says that the blood would suggest that at least one of the men was inside the railing. Police have not said whose blood it was. New this morning, CNN has learned that former chess champion Bobby Fischer has died. He was 64. No word on the cause of death, but Fischer learned to play chess at age 6, and by the age of 14 was a U.S. chess champ. In 1992, he defied U.S. sanctions against Yugoslavia and played a chess match there, and later moved to Iceland. Don't get fed up with all of those reruns just yet. Striking writers are under even more pressure to end their 2-month walkout. Now, that's because Hollywood directors have cut a deal with studios. Now, the new contract will give them payment for internet downloads. That's been one of the big demands by union writers. It is the final day of glad-handing before tomorrow's Republican primary in South Carolina. Mike Huckabee, Senator John McCain, and Fred Thompson have several campaign stops there today, and Mitt Romney is in Nevada. Now, that is where most of the Democrats are stumping for votes before tomorrow's caucuses. Now, yesterday, a judge ruled that casino workers can caucus at workplace precincts on the Vegas Strip. The Nevada caucuses could be a close race for both GOP and Democratic candidates. So how much help can Nevada help them score their party's nomination? Richard Louie does the math. Good morning.
Calculator.
You always strike me as maybe someone who's good at the math. Most of us broadcasters are not.
I have the calculator right here, Robin. I'm not so good at the math, but I did do some for you right now. It could matter a little and a lot to give